Hello Bookish people. Today is 20 books for 2020 and all of these books are books that I own already, so they may be continuations of series, rereads because there's a new book coming out and I have no idea what happened, or just books that I've bought recently or in the last year that I'm hoping to read in 2020. Now, I probably will not get through all these books throughout the year, but I'm gonna try, and I hope everyone that has some sort of reading goal is happy to achieve whatever, because reading is reading and you should be happy that you've read, even though it's not as much as some other people. We're gonna start off with Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, the third book, because I read the first two books last year and I've been taking a break since the second book because it kind of dragged and I just couldn't do the third book all that long ago. But Dreams of Gods and Monsters, and it's had some mixed reviews. Some people were really disappointed with the ending, but I feel like I will be too, but I'm just a person that kind of needs to know what happened regardless. So I'm gonna read it. I'm probably gonna say it's gonna drag, personally, because the second book was great for the last half, but the first half just dragged, and I really enjoyed the first book. And so many people love Lani Taylor, and I don't know if I'm just gonna be one of those people, sorry. The next book is The Darkest Night. Yeah, The Darkest Night, which is the first book in the Lords of the Underworld series by Gina Showalter, and I've read bits and pieces of the series, and the next book, The Darkest King, comes out in a couple days, actually, on the 20-something of February 2020, so I'd like to read the series cohesively and in order so it makes sense, hopefully, but these are really cute covers and the iconic little butterfly for the Lords of the Underworld, and the ones that I have read I really did love, and so I'm hoping they're kind of short, sweet, and good to read, but I'll read them regardless. Another Gina Showalter book, Alice in Zombieland. The first one, I recently got the series, and it's a young adult book series that has some romance, and that is kind of to some people. Like, some people don't think it's necessary, but I haven't read it, so I couldn't tell you. And I'm a very huge Alice fan, so I just kind of need to read it for myself. So this and the rest of the series, if I can get around to it this year, would be great. This is something I have not heard very many people talk about. This is the second book to the Blood Magic series, I believe it's called. The first book is Blood Magic, at least, by Tessa Grafton, and the Blood Keeper is the second book, so you have to make yourself bleed to make any magic work, and it was a very interesting young adult book series that I read, and it is a little darker, I guess, because you have to make yourself bleed, but I enjoyed it, and I really liked it as a teenager, so we'll see if it still stands up, but I didn't know there was a second book till a few months ago, so yee. Now, this is the Pandora English book series. I already have a video up about it. I don't care. It is awesome. I loved it so much. But the first book here will be a reread, because the fourth book is coming out in a couple of weeks, and I am so excited for it. I have been waiting for years for the fourth book, so I really need a reread to refresh what the heck happened in which books. Like, I remember the storyline mostly, but there are probably like a few little things that will make sense in the fourth book that I kind of remember, but not really, so it's worth a reread and a refresher, and the series is really great. And I'm kind of mad that they got rid of these covers, so all the new books have new covers, and they re-released all the first three books with the new cover to match the new 4th book, which I guess is good because all the covers match, and I'm a cover snob and like matching covers, so I don't know what I'm doing with these covers now. This is not my usual young adult fantasy and that sort of stuff. Like, I enjoy, I guess you'd call this a thriller because it's not, some books have murder, some of them don't, from Harlan Coben, and yeah, I don't really know. I'd say this is a thriller, but if you, I think the show is called Stay on Netflix by him. Can't remember, haven't read Stay, but I really enjoyed the Mickey Boltaire books, so I'm hoping to get around to the Myron Boltaire books because they were really interesting and they got my attention, so I'm hoping this book will get it. But the Myron series has so many books, and I'm just hoping I don't need to read them in a structure order because I just need a little bit of sprinkles of some murder to even out all the angsty teen drama occasionally that I read. Here is the teen drama. I'm joking, but there is a love triangle in the Poison Princess Arcana Chronicle series, and yeah, okay, it's like a really interesting premise. I believe it was the apocalypse, yes, the apocalypse, and there was some magic and there was some tarot cards from what I remember, and just really interesting, and I'm hoping to reread The Poison Princess and read the next couple of books in the series. I'm not sure how many there are currently, but I think there's like 5 or 6, so if you're looking for some apocalyptic magic YA books, then check out this series by Kresley Cole. Alright, this series, technically, I've got to read the series because the show is coming out on Netflix soon. I think it was Netflix, yes, it was Netflix. But I know this book for its love triangle and its ending, and I've already been spoiled for it, so it's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to care about it, but I'm hoping the writing and the story is good enough that I care about it, so we're going to attempt this series, because I've got all 3, and then if I've read this, then I can move on to King of Scars and Six of Crows, but yeah, this, all I know is love triangle, magic, and as she trains with the Grisha. I know this is called the Grishaverse. I don't know what a Grisha is. Let's see what a Grisha is. I know this is technically an adult fantasy, but the main character is 16 in the books. Well, this Nevernight at least, so we're gonna... Oh god, how big is Nevernight? I don't know how big it is. It shouldn't be that bad, should it? Yeah, roughly 400 pages, so average size book. Ooh, what did I break? Nothing. But I've been reading Throne of Glass, so assassins, killing, murder, maybe some love, sprinkles. Don't ask me why I said sprinkles, I just said it. I don't know. But Nevernight got so much hype, and Pierre Ford made a YouTube series episodes on it, so it really has some love and some hype, and I'm very behind on the hype. So I'm hoping it lives up to the hype, and I'm very late to the hype, so let's see how this goes, but I'm hoping it's good. I really am hoping it's good. The blurb of this kind of reminds me of Sookie Stackhouse, like the idea that she can hear everyone's thoughts, and the moment she finds a vampire, she's woo. So yeah, the idea of this is the girl can see everyone's destiny, and the one person that she can't see their destiny, she's like, ooh, attach. And I'm pretty sure he's a vampire because, I mean, the stakes have never been higher. It kind of just sounds like a vampire book. But I love vampires, and I don't care if they're trashy. I really don't. As long as, like, it's a good book, there's good characters, and it's decently written, it should be good, and I'll read it. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Sookie Stackhouse series, so I'm sure I'm gonna like this because the ideas kind of sound similar. Ancient Society of Vampire Hunters looking for her boyfriend. Her boyfriend might be a nightmare. Yeah, this is probably vampires and her new boyfriend's a vampire. Oh well, this is gonna be interesting for me. I'm probably gonna like it. Now this next book, I'm probably very late to ever hearing about it, but A Darker Shade of Magic. I've got the trilogy sitting on my shelves, but I've never read it, never heard of it before I picked up the books. I did not even know how big of a deal this was until I've just started asking people on Bookstagram, what is this magical series? But yes. I didn't realise this was magic in it. I'm having a bit too much fun with looking at my weird list of books and going, ooh, I'm hoping to read all these. I am hoping to read these, though, because this is highly recommended to me and to everyone because V.E. Schwab is apparently a really great author, and I have not read any of her books. So we're hoping to start with this trilogy and then possibly pick up any others, because if these are great, then I will be picking up all the books. I'm trying to do it like this because I'm gonna go like this and go, I've never read this book or this series. And there's a new book coming out and everyone's going, why haven't you read it already? Because I didn't know it existed, and apparently it gets weird, and the brother and the sister and the not brother and the sister. I don't know why I haven't read this series, honestly, but I've got all the books up there, as you can see. But City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I probably butchered her name occasionally. Sorry, I'm very sorry, but oh, iconic book I have never read, so I'm really hoping to get around to at least one of the Mortal Instruments books, because I've never read them, and the new book is coming out a couple days before my birthday, and knowing someone, they're gonna think I'm gonna like it, and it's like, I've never read it, sorry. So I'm hoping to read it, like it, and understand the hype, and maybe watch the Shadowhunters. Even though people are gonna yell, it's not the same as the books. It's probably not the same as the books, but it's probably gonna be good to me anyway. So we're hoping. Okay, vampires in Brooklyn, werewolves in Manhattan. I'm probably gonna like this. Don't come for me because I haven't read them. I picked this up, and then I saw how thick it was, and saw how many pages there were, and now I'm a little bit intimidated. There's like 680 or 90 something pages in The Black Witch, and I've got the Iron Flower over there, but this was one of my most anticipated books I was waiting for to get last year, because I bought the Iron Witch first accidentally and was like, I could not find this, and then someone bought this for me for Christmas, and they are amazing, and I hope they liked whatever present I got them. But the Black Witch kind of really looking intimidating with like 600 pages going back to uni, and I don't know how I'm going to find the time to read this, but I'm hoping in one of my breaks this year I will be able to read this in a couple days, because this is not going to be done in a few hours, I can guarantee you that. But witches, greatest prophecies. I just glanced at a couple words, it's a blurb, don't mind me. I'm like really excited to read this and like kind of intimidated now, because I did not realize it was like almost 700 pages, and I have not read a book that large for a while that wasn't a textbook, so I'm a little intimidated now. We're attempting to get on the hype train. Boop, boop. But seriously, Aurora Rising, with the upcoming Aurora Burning and the so many like hardcover sprayed edges pre-order editions I've seen for Aurora Burning when I haven't even read Aurora Rising. I do not understand the hype just yet. I just know young adult, space, J. Kristoff, Amy Kaufman, so it's meant to be amazing. I don't read too many science fiction books. I try, but yeah, it's just so I'm hoping to understand the hype and then kick myself for not pre-ordering Aurora Burning, but this isn't like too intimidating, but smart ass tech whiz of the galaxy's biggest chip on his shoulder, alien warrior with anger management issues. I'm expecting witty banter. Tell me if there is witty banter, please, because this actually it seemed really interesting and I was looking forward to it, and I've just been putting it off because I got Throne of Glass for Christmas, so I've been reading that instead. This is kind of a catch-up read, kind of a starting read and a reread all in one go, because I've read parts of the Black Dagger Brotherhood and they're just all over the place from what I've read, because this is the first book. I don't believe I've read the first book, but I've read the third book already, and there's parts of the third book that will probably not make sense. They probably didn't when I remember reading it, when I reread it, but so we're gonna read the Black Dagger Brotherhood series and try to catch up for when the new book comes out in, oh god, it's past June it comes out, I believe. The Savior was last year. The Savior came out last year and that's like the 15th book. I can't remember, is it the Jackal? The Jackal comes out this year, I'm pretty sure. And so we're gonna do a reread of the books I've already read, catch up to the new book coming out later in the year, and start with new books I've not read of the series. So we're doing a whatever all in one go, trying to read these, and I am hoping that I love them as much as I did, because they were great when I read them. This next book is a reread because I've read the first two. I've read this and the next book, and there's a third book that I did not know about, but then again I didn't look, so I'm gonna get the third book eventually, later on in the year probably, because these are probably not my priority at the moment. Sorry Burn Bright buddies, it's just not. But I have, once again, this is a series that is a few years old. I think the third book came out in 2017, so not many people would read it or know about it since it's not a recent release, and I don't believe it was that popular to begin with, but I really liked it. It was like mysterious, weird vibes. Yeah, Retra is a sealed minds, sealed community. She doesn't crave parties and pleasure like the others, so like I think everyone's brainwashed to attend parties all the time from what I remember. I don't remember much, but I remember like it was really mysterious and just weird, and this chick kept saying burn bright batties, and I don't know. There is a plot in there. I just can't remember what it was, unfortunately, and I've got this book and Burn Bright and Shine Light was the third one. I can't remember what the second one is, but the Night Creatures series, it was actually really good, so I'm doing a reread, getting the third book, seeing how that is, if it is great, and if it is, recommending it to some people, because yeah, I'm having a tough time with some of the books I've been recommended lately. Alright. Throne of Glass series. There is some debate on when the hell you had to read this. I'm sorry, I couldn't do Novella's first one. I did not give a crap or a shit about the main characters. So I read Throne of Glass first. Currently reading Crown of Midnight, waiting for it to pick up and be interesting, but it's kind of getting interesting, but it's like, I don't understand why it's so great at the moment. And then we're reading this book because it was before Queen of Shadows. Sarah's website said you had to read it before that specific book and any other time, but some people recommend reading this one either first before Friend of Class or just after Friend of Class, and I wanted to, but I was so bored. Sorry, it's okay, but it's predictable, and it was eh. So far, I don't get the hype. I'm really hoping it was like, I was hoping it would be like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and halfway through the first book, it was amazing. It picked up, and I loved it, and so far, it's kind of doing that, and you can just tell it's gonna be a long series, and so far I'm just not here for it, and I already know Sam's dead. Sorry. But if you're watching this, you've probably already read Friend of Glass because you're here. Sorry. I like comics. I do enjoy comics. So I saw these and they looked really interesting and I just wanted to pick them up. And I don't read comics too much, so I'm hoping to get around to a couple this year because I've actually got a stack just there of like DC comics, the Joker, some of these that intertwine, the Convergence, because that's Convergence Crisis and that's Convergence 0 Hour, and those are the first two books, but they kind of connect with, like, as you can tell, there's a Batman, there's a people. I'm sorry, and that's I'm pretty sure that's Superboy. A Superboy, right? I don't know. I've been watching Titans on Netflix and I'm just like, this is interesting. Let's read comics again, because I've read the Joker and some of the Joker and the Harley Quinn comics and I really enjoyed them. So I'm hoping to read a few more this year. My last book for my 20 books to read for 2020 is part of this series, the Illuminae Files trilogy, but because I have books 2 and 3 and I'm really picky about matching sizes and covers, so I haven't got the first book at the moment because Gimmicks was doing a buy one get one 50% off, and I didn't buy Illuminae when I had the chance, and I really probably should have, but I'm gonna try my first audiobook actually. I'm gonna try reading the Illuminae Files, Illuminae in audiobook form, and I've never read or heard an audiobook before, so I'm hoping it's good. And I got told to try the audiobooks because there's a full cast and it's apparently really amazing, and yeah, I wanted something really interesting for my first audiobook since like I haven't done it before, and funds are limited when you're a uni student and textbooks are expensive, so it's gonna be a little bit before I get my hands on the first book. Most of my books I've actually picked up secondhand and I'm actually really happy with that, but yeah, we'll get the first book when I can get to it or afford it and I don't have to pay for textbooks and notes and tutoring again, but we'll see about that. But I've got the audiobook and if you wanted to listen to the audiobook along with like me, then the Audible has their 30-day free trial, so yeah. And yeah, so that was my weird list of 20 books I'm hoping to read or listen to in 2020. I'll probably try to get to all of them. I might pick up and put down them a couple times and trade, like get halfway through a book and then pick up another book because that book is either irritating me or boring me. But I'm gonna try my best not to DNF any books at the moment because it just feels so weird when I do. And some books I might not get to during the year, like at the start of the year, because university starts back next week, or in a couple days actually, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty full on with that, so I might not have the time to read like the massive Black Witch book until I go on my break. And but if you're currently reading or trying to read a TBR of a backlist, like me at the moment, trying to read all the books that or some of the books that I own and not buy any new ones, so just any reading is reading, no matter how big or small, so it's okay that you didn't read all the books in your TBR that you wanted to read, but oh, my arm's killing me. Like, it does not matter if you read 5 books or 20 books, just any book is a book, and it's great that you even read anything during the year. Like, it's not always a priority for everybody to read something, and it should not be something that stresses you out. So if reading stresses you out, possibly take a break and then just get back into it and don't put so much pressure on yourself. I know that's better said than done, but reading is hopefully something you enjoy. Like, I enjoy all my fantasy and my angsty teen vampires and my trashy vampire sex books or whatever you want to call them, but I enjoy those books. And I may not read as much during the year when I'm at uni, but I'm glad to be reading because I enjoy reading, and I hope you all do too. So maybe someone picks up something off my weird list, and someone please read Pandora English, because it is amazing and it's great. And now there's 4 books on March 3rd when it comes out, along with Crescent City. It's probably shorter than Crescent City, so read that one first. I'm joking. Everyone's either going to be reading that or Chain of Gold when it comes out on March. But yeah, hope everyone has a great bookish day and enjoys any books that they read and tries to enjoy all their reading. And if you don't like what you're reading, then you can put it down. But me personally, I'm going to try not to put any books down. So we'll see how that goes. But bye bye.